This next article from Newsweek, 5 years after Alan Kurdi, refugees at highest number since World War II. Woo! Around 1% of the population, world's population has been forcibly displaced. That impact did the photo of Alan Kurdi that shook the world really have. So to put this into perspective of how unbelievably massive this is, let's look at the immigration numbers here from the UN population projections. Here you can see that the Africans are having 5 or 6 children per woman. Part of that's because they have a higher mortality rate, but they also, it's a sign of power there to have a large family. But when you have a lot of large families, then it's a oversupply issue, and then it drops the price, so it's not good what they're doing. A lot of it is because they're uneducated. They don't have access to contraception. They think like it's immoral, or they're under threat from a religious person to be baby factory, like a Muslim. So we can see the woo! That's what happens when you have 5 or 6 kids per woman. Your population shoots up gigantic, and then you end up impoverished. All of these people want to migrate here. We can't let that happen. 1% of these people is an insane lot of people. There's how many of them? 5 billion of them? Hold on. That's 1% of the world's population. Let's just go off of 10 billion. That's 100 million people, dude. 100 million people. You're not welcome in America unless you're just coming to visit. No, we're going to build the moat. The wall is kind of looks like a pussy compared to Kale's moat, with alligators, snakes, eels, piranhas, sharks with lasers on their head. We're going to have lions, tigers, bears, hippos, wolves, and we're going to have a petting zoo, and people on both sides of the border will be able to come and go and interact with each other. So it will be a tourist attraction and a way to bring Mexico together with the United States, because it is insanely hilarious. If you think about it, it is really funny. Because in the end, who doesn't think Latinas aren't hot? I mean, seriously, man. Latinas are some of the hottest chicks out there. I really do think that Latinas are sexy. But I can't support illegal immigration at all. I can't do that. It makes the Latinos turn into a permanent underclass. Currently, there are 4 and 5 border crossers are getting through without being caught. There's 20 illegal immigrants per homeless person. Almost 11 of them are from Mexico. 6% of the illegal immigrants are from Mexico. So when you don't enforce our immigration policies, it heavily biases illegal immigration towards Mexico. When you look at the other graph, we can see from the this was from Pew Research. We can see the demographics of who's coming in the country. 25% coming from Mexico, 25% coming from South America, South and Central America, right? Other Latin America is what it says. And then I can't tell how much that is. Looks like 25% is from Asia, but they're only children. Asians in America are actually only children. So their birth rates are dipping. So I really would not worry about these people. I would not. Asian chicks are super hot too. But we're worried about the 50% coming from South America. You want diversity, right? Like, oh no, diversity means that we speak Spanish. We're like, oh, really? So you mean you're trying to change our culture? Like, what, are you racist? No, you can't do that. Like, oh, so you're a cultural Marxist then? You think the white man is racist, privileged white males with white privilege, and you have to attack their white privilege because they have unlimited white privilege. You can attack them continually, and they will have endless supplies of white privilege because there is a white privilege factory. A white privilege factory. In this white privilege factory, they pump out so much white privilege. These white guys are just getting white privilege for free. It's like negative money, man. They got extra white privilege to give you. Right? That's crazy, man. That's crazy, dude. When you change the language, you change the culture. When you change the culture, if you're a socialist, you're a cultural Marxist. You are a detestable scum piece of shit. Cultural Marxism is responsible for over 100 million deaths during the cultural de-evolution in China and in the USSR when the socialist scum from the city went through the countryside and killed all the capitalists who were preventing them from having their socialist utopia. This is the same thing the Democrats are trying to do with us. They say the white man's racist. We want to have a socialist utopia. We want to not have to work and get money from the magic money tree. And so they want to replace the white males with Latinos because of the doctrine of diversity, which states its dogmatic belief that all white teams are inferior to mixed race teams or diverse teams because they think that diversity is the color of your skin. But this is half-baked. It's not well thought out. The color of your skin means nothing. It's just like the color of my clothes. Just because someone wears clothes that are of a style that you like that culture and you trust those people does not mean that they're a good person. Just because you wear hip-hop clothes does not mean you're not a detestable gang-banging serial killer. Just because you're a punk rocker does not mean that you are like complete filth. Just because you're a raver does not mean that you're absolutely detestable scum. Just because you're a metalhead. You know what? Honestly, man, metalheads are pretty chill. I can't think of any metalheads I've met that I don't like. I can't. There's something about metalheads. They're really nice people, dude. It's like bodybuilders, dude. Bodybuilders are like some of the nicest people out there. I love these guys. They're like, dude, none of this cancel culture shit exists around the bodybuilders, dude. They're out there pumping iron, talking about how crazy this shit is, dude. That's why I love these people. That's why I pump iron every day. Because nobody else, these lefties ain't got my back. The only thing that's got my back is the red, white, and blue, the blue and the camo, and the iron, and the guns. That's all, and the Constitution, right? American conservatism. That's the only thing that has my back. The silent majority is the only people who are going to be there for me in the end, because these leftists are posers. They're just there to be popular, to make people like them. They are saying whatever because somebody else said it. They never did any research into it, and it sounded good, and it would give them free shit. Trust me, man, there's no real free shit out there in the world, dude. It's reality, bro. Finite resources. We don't want resources to not be finite. We want them to be finite. Life is good when you have constraints. When I build machines as an engineer, some of the most creative, awesome things I've ever done have been extremely constrained. because you have to be incredibly creative. Some of the most creative video games have been under constraints, like the 2D games and 3D games where they're trying to exploit resources on slower processors with not that good of graphics cards, and then they got that really cool look out of that game. That was some like really cheap chip that they hacked on, and they were genius and they figured it out. When I put together a show, I'm constrained by time. I can only read so many articles. It's 3:00 at night. I've been up since 8:00 in the morning. I got 6 hours of sleep last night because I was trying to get the show ready. I'm extremely tired. And what was I talking about? Damn it. Went on a tangent, huh? I'm too tired. My brain's going, let's just get through these articles. I think I've probably said more than enough.